Hello, everyone. Good Tuesday evening to you. It is after 9 o'clock, so it is time for us to go over some of our evening headlines. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Taylor Eaton. So with that, we'll get right to it, and we will begin here with one of our top stories of the day. Earlier today, and I joined you just a couple of hours ago to talk about this, and I'll share some of our viewer video that was sent in to us as we share with you some new information about what happened today. So during our 5 and our 6 o'clock newscast, we were getting phone calls into our newsroom from people that live in Boyd County, Kentucky, and those that were just driving through that noticed thick black smoke filling the air. And our viewer that submitted this video to us had asked, is this something normal? They reported this coming from the Marathon Refinery in Catlettsburg. And so immediately when we started seeing that smoke filling the skies, we started reaching out to the company with questions, to 911 officials, and to emergency responders, emergency management agencies. And we were getting very limited information at the time. A lot of them said that at that point they were still trying to get in touch with the company to get a better handle on exactly what was happening. Well, just this evening, we finally received a statement from Marathon. Let me share part of that with you here, and I'll pull that up on the screen so we can all read that together. But they sent us this statement just after our 6 o'clock newscast wrapped up. It was just after 6:30 that we got this into our newsroom. The company is saying as a result of a third-party power interruption, operating conditions at the Catlettsburg refinery made flaring necessary. The statement goes on to explain a little about that process, saying flares are safety devices that allow for the safe combustion of excess materials under certain operating conditions. Trained teams are addressing the situation as quickly and safely as possible. No injuries have been reported. All employees and contractors accounted for, and as a precaution, air monitoring is being conducted in the local community. And that statement goes on to say that there were no readings that indicated public health concerns, that there were reports that people were smelling an odor in the area, and that they were going to continue on with precautionary air monitoring as a result of that. But saying their top priorities were the personnel at the facility, the community, and limiting environmental impact. Then just this evening, we also received an additional statement. We had reached out to the Kentucky Energy and Environment Cabinet, and they sent us this statement, and it says, due to a significant power outage in Boyd County, the Marathon Refinery at Catlettsburg is burning off emissions to avoid direct release to the atmosphere. The company has air quality monitors on their property to test for hazardous atmosphere and have not detected any levels that would impact the public. That they did say their emergency response team was on site as well as local emergency services. So we received all of that just this evening to update us on that situation. But so far, all of the agencies involved saying there is no immediate threat to the public from the testing that has come back so far. They're saying there was nothing that was released into the atmosphere that would cause any concern for anyone living nearby, anyone that might work at a business. So it's the very latest that we know on that situation. We are going to have a full report coming up for you tonight at 10 and 11 on that one. Next tonight, another one of our top stories here. Let me pull up my notes here real quick, and I'll share some video with you. We had some court happenings going on today, a sentencing for a man who was charged in a murder case, and I'll share some video here with you. The picture you're about to see is the victim in this case. Her name's Cheyenne Johnson. And today, this man was back in court to learn his sentence and how long he will serve time for in this case. This is Michael Smith. He was sentenced today to life in prison, plus some additional years on different charges, including second-degree murder in this case. Investigators say that Smith was in a relationship at the time with a woman named Virginia Smith. Then investigators say shot and killed Cheyenne Johnson in 2021. Now, investigators say Michael Smith, who you see here, he helped to hide Johnson's body in a deep well. And today, Johnson's family was in the courtroom. It was a very emotional day for them, telling us that they believe there will be no punishment ever enough in this case. And they say that there will be nothing that will bring their loved one back. Smith's attorney, though, saying that his client is planning to appeal in this case. The other person, though, charged in this, Virginia Smith, by the way, she was charged with first-degree murder and sentenced to life with mercy in December of last year in this case. So the gentleman that you see here, Michael Smith, sentenced today for his role in this case. Next tonight, we are going to head to the West Virginia Capitol and talk about a bill that saw some movement today. Our reporter Charlie Roth was there. And this one is dealing with the foster care system in West Virginia. It's been the subject of numerous WSAZ investigations over the years. Today, the House unanimously passing a bill that looks to give additional rights to foster children in the state of West Virginia, giving foster children who are 13 and older the added right to know about and to attend hearings about their case, including virtually. We spoke with Delegate Evan Worrell, who says that foster children have a right to know what is going on in their cases, especially when it could affect their life. So that bill is seeing some movement now within the West Virginia legislature. It is one that we will be following closely in the days to come. Now, we also have an update on another bill that we've been reporting on here, and I'll reshare some of that video as we talk about that here. The House also unanimously passing a bill today establishing what is called the Blue Envelope program in West Virginia. It's intended to lead to safer interactions between law enforcement and people, for instance, with autism or other intellectual and developmental disabilities. And this is actually a follow-up to a story that we had done in the state of Ohio, where they had implemented a similar program. And one of the sponsors of this bill, when we spoke with him, he said it was that reporting that really inspired him to want to introduce something like this in the state of West Virginia. So that is a program they are looking at implementing, and it's really simple. If you are interested in receiving one of those blue envelopes and having that with your loved one, it's very easy to do that. We have lots of information on WSAZ.com. If you would just search Blue Envelope Program, all of those stories that we've done in the past should pull up for you and should give you some information. Now, this is not set in stone in West Virginia, so you can't get those just yet here. But it is now a step closer to happening in West Virginia. So it's another one that we're going to be following as well for the remainder of the West Virginia legislative session. Next tonight, all we can say is the frustrations are flowing again in Wayne, West Virginia. Just as people had been told that their water was safe to use again, it was safe to drink, well, now another wrinkle in this. Just this morning, people in Wayne were told they were under a boil water advisory. And that's because of low tank levels after a water pump went out, according to officials in the town. The advisory coming just after people, yes, were given that all clear and told they could use their water as normal again. And that lasted for weeks. We had been reporting to you for several weeks about oil leaking into the water source in the town. That led to the mayor putting that do not consume order in place, and it was there for a while, for weeks, before finally they said the testing had come back and shown that the levels were okay for people to use and to drink their water again. But then just yesterday, there was a town hall meeting, and it was packed. Our reporter Luke Hamilton was there, and there were lots of people that turned out for that meeting with still lots of questions about their water. Many of them saying they don't feel it's safe, that they flushed their lines and are still reporting some discoloration and some smells that are coming from the water. The mayor said yesterday that they are going to be going directly to those homes that they're getting those reports to try to meet up with them and to do some additional testing. But everyone now back under that boil water advisory because of this new issue. The mayor did say that they're going to need to do some additional testing once the repairs are finished to fix this issue. Wayne Water, though, saying that people could be anywhere from 24 to 48 hours before that advisory is lifted. We're going to keep checking in with officials on this one. We'll let you know if we get any updates at all as far as if the all clear is given now in this. But it's just a new layer of frustration for people that have gone so long now without that basic necessity and are still very concerned about what's coming from the tap, and now having to be under this boil water advisory. So it's just another layer, and kind of it's just it feels like it's just adding insult to injury at this point for people that live in Wayne. But we'll update you if we get any new information as far as the timeline goes on when they think things will be back to normal for people in the town of Wayne. It was very nice to see some melting today, right? We got up into the 60s. Oh, and it was beautiful. I hope that all of you were able to get outside and enjoy today at some point because we're going to cool back down. But I was listening to the forecast earlier today, and a week from today, we're going to be right back up there in the 60s. And it's just so nice to know that spring is on the way. But that snow and ice, well, it's been covering up some other problems for us, and now we're starting to see those popping up on our roadways all across the region. We're talking about potholes, and it's really only just the beginning of this problem. Like that old song says, we've only just begun. So today, unfortunately, we saw one open up on one of our major roads in the region, talking about 64. There was a large pothole that formed in the eastbound lanes right near the West Huntington Bridge. So on 64, it'd be really close to exit 6. It'd be the bridge that takes you over and drops you off into South Point, Ohio, over near the West Huntington exit. But several cars reportedly hit it, just bam, bam, one right after another. And they had to pull off on the shoulder, dealing with, we were getting reports about people with popped tires and some damage to their cars. The DOT was made aware of that issue, and they said that they had crews responding. The problem here is that because of the timing of this, it's still winter, and they're saying a lot of those facilities are not going to be open until spring for them to be able to come in and get that material to allow them to do a more permanent fix. So a spokesperson for the West Virginia Department of Transportation said they're not fully in repair mode yet. It's at a time when they're only able to make those temporary quick fixes. And it's very much that, a temporary and quick fix. It's not a permanent fix. So just be very aware. We're going to start seeing more and more of those issues that'll be popping up here soon as the snow and ice melts away. It's now uncovering this new problem for us. So just be careful as you're driving, and especially overnight. Even just this morning, we were getting some reports of black ice popping up in different parts of the region. So just take it easy on that morning commute, as we have been for what seems like days on end now. But it was just a really, really nice day, so enjoyable. And man, I'm just looking forward to spring. I always think to myself, like, if we can just make it to March, that's kind of always like my glimmer of hope. I feel like March is just kind of that point that it's like, oh, there's light at the end of the tunnel. All right. Finally here tonight, a national story that we are still following, and major developments happening on this one today. You've probably been seeing the pictures and the videos that have been circulating maybe on your social media feeds, as these images and new video just released today in the case of Nancy Guthrie. She's been missing now since February 1st. So it's now entering a second week in the search for her. And let me pull up the new video that was just released today as we talk through this one and share a little bit more with you. So this video appears to show a masked person with gloves and a backpack, and the FBI says this person appears to have a gun on them as well, going up to the doorbell, or the door of Nancy Guthrie, and then appearing to walk away after kind of covering up the camera with their hand, walk away and pull up a plant from outside her home, and then goes right back to the camera and kind of tries to hold up that plant to obscure the camera there through her doorbell. The FBI director, Kash Patel, releasing this video and photos today. Images, he says, were recovered from back-end systems as they were scraping for residual data that had been deleted but still lived on a server. It's how they were able to get a hold of this. But yes, he says it appears this person is armed, and they've shown this video to family. And he says they do not recognize this person at all. And he also says no one close to the investigation recognizes this person. He did say, understandably, it's very hard. It's dark in this video. It's black and white video. And it's just hard to make out a lot of features. But he did say there were kind of noticeable things they were looking at. The person kind of hunched over as they were approaching the door. They said kind of a slow, deliberate gait. But so far, they've not been able to identify this person. They've added the photos to a new FBI wanted flyer and to a new website, and then released this video in hopes that maybe someone might notice some identifying factors, or maybe some quirks or something that they might notice about this person's movements that might give them a little insight as to who this person is. But they just released this today. Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mom of Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie, has been missing now, was reported missing on February 1st. Her family, including Savannah, posting to social media saying that they believe that Nancy Guthrie is still out there. Savannah today saying that she believes that her mom is still alive. And now they are turning not just to the area in Tucson, Arizona, where she lives, but really turning to the entire country and to the public for help in finding her. But the FBI saying today it has not identified any suspects nor persons of interest in the case. And this video from her doorbell camera, they're hoping is maybe going to be key in identifying the person that they believe is involved in this case and hopefully leading them to the safe return of Nancy Guthrie. So just take a close look here as we show you one more time the video that's been released. Again, it's just, they said there were some really odd things that were going on here in this video, including the next little part that you're about to see. This person just pulling up a plant and then returning to the doorbell camera and trying to cover it up with that. So that's the very latest in that case that we have learned about. They did a special news conference today and released those and posted those to social media. So it's just a new development, a new twist in this case, but sadly still no answers as to what has happened to Nancy Guthrie. Her family, though, holding on to hope, even saying that they're in hours of desperation now, but not losing hope, even as the days go on, as they search to try to bring her home and reunite her with her family. It's a national story that we've been following for days now, and we will in the days to come. We'll have full updates for you at 10 and 11. For now, though, that's going to do it. It's a look at the top headlines that we've got for you here this Tuesday evening at WSAZ+. I've enjoyed having all of you watching here with us. A reminder, you don't have to wait for the news to be able to get your headlines. You can get those here on WSAZ+. It's real simple to download. Full instructions on WSAZ.com. Remember, you can always watch with us on streaming devices like Roku or any of those devices that you watch with us. WSAZ+ is always there with headlines, weather, sports, everything that you need to know right to your phone. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight, everyone. I hope all of you have a wonderful Wednesday ahead. And if you can't tune in with us at 10 and 11, I'll see you back for our evening shows tomorrow. And then same time, same place here tomorrow on WSAZ+. For now, I'm Taylor Eaton. Thanks so much for watching.